What's up, guys? Kong Skull Island is the next film in the new monsterverse that we now have after 2014's Godzilla made a ton of money and the producers thought, why not pair Godzilla up against King Kong, have them fight, or maybe team up against someone like Mothra in the way that Batman and Superman teamed up against Doomsday. So this film tells a different version of the King Kong story. It's not the same kind of story as the 1933 original, or the Peter Jackson 2005 remake. We know that at the end of this film, King Kong has to live, and that was nice going into the film, knowing that the big beast has to live, because he has to live in order to be able to fight Godzilla in 2020. The film tells the story of a group of explorers in the 1970s who are sent to this island and basically have to discover what they can, and they end up running into King Kong, the giant king of Skull Island. Now, I thought this was an incredibly entertaining film, and that is helped extremely by its star-studded cast, which includes Samuel L. Jackson, John Goodman, Brie Larson, Tom Hiddleston, John C. Reilly, and plenty of others that I can't even name off the top of my head. Now, the main problem that I have with the film is the characterization. The characters are somewhat one-dimensional. However, my favourite characters were Samuel L. Jackson's and John C. Reilly's characters, and they made up for the somewhat less compelling characters where you didn't really care if they got eaten by King Kong or the various other creatures on the island or not. The film is similar to Rogue One in the way that the characters aren't the best and they're not fleshed out as well as they could have been, so they're not as good to root for as better characters would have been, but the epic scope and scale of the story really pulls the film forward. The CGI is breathtaking. The creation of Kong is a marvel to look at, and all of the action scenes involving Kong are amazing. The film is extremely well directed by Jordan Vogt Roberts. I think that's how you pronounce his name. He's an indie director similar to Gareth Edwards or Colin Trevorrow, who have now been given big projects after being taken from indie obscurity such as Jurassic World and also Godzilla and Rogue One. And I think he does a really good job of directing. His use of wide shots in all of the action scenes really increase the scope and epic quality of the action, and everything involving Kong is amazing. The rest of Skull Island and also the CGI skull crawlers, as they called in the trailer, the kind of dinosaur lizard things that Kong has to fight to protect the people from, it all looks amazing. The setting is really cool to look at, and they actually did shoot the film on some live locations, but the majority of the island is computer generated, and I thought what they did with the film actually looked really, really good. There is a consistent fast pace which is suitable for a big action-adventure film involving King Kong, and it hardly ever dragged. I also really liked the vibe and feel of the film. It's very much like a Vietnam film. Apocalypse Now meets King Kong, and I really liked the way that they took the film. It really establishes its own kind of eccentric, completely bonkers tone, and I have to give it praise for that, because the shot structure, the look of the film, and the dialogue as well, it all adds up to this really fun, giddy feeling that you get while watching the film. It's a perfect combination of action, adventure, and humour, and that's why I really enjoyed the film. There are also plenty of 70s songs that match the tone perfectly. So overall, I really enjoyed Kong Skull Island. It had a really cool tone, the CGI was amazing, and it had a suitable fast pace for an action-adventure film. However, the somewhat one-dimensional characters somewhat detract the film from being perfect, and for that reason, I'm going to give Kong Skull Island an A-. I really did enjoy some of the main characters, however they could have been a bit more fleshed out. All of the performances are really good. John C. Reilly and Samuel L. Jackson are standouts, but Tom Hiddleston and Brie Larson also have good chemistry, despite their characters not being that good. I really recommend seeing Kong Skull Island for the sole purpose to be entertained. It is a perfect action popcorn flick. I really recommend going to see it. Also, stay for the end credits scene. It sets up the universe. I'm not going to spoil anything, but it's a good one. So, those are my thoughts on Kong Skull Island, a film that I really enjoyed, and I'm actually really excited to see where they take this franchise. That's all for now, guys, and until the next time, goodbye.